Beautiful Anonymous changes each week. It defies genres and expectations. For example, our most recent episode, I talked to a woman who survived a murder attempt by her own son. But just the week before that, we just talked the whole time about Star Trek. We've had other recent episodes about sexting in languages that are not your first language, or what it's like to get weight loss surgery. It's unpredictable, it's real, it's honest, it's raw. Get Beautiful Anonymous wherever you listen to podcasts.
Wine and Crime contains graphic and explicit content which may not be suitable for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. You are listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where two friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Lucy.
And this week we have a very special Gals Pick brought to you by us. Brought to you by Lucy. I think you picked this one, right?
I think so. Yeah, because I found a case that is kind of fucked up.
That is usually how we pick our Gals Picks.
Yes.
I saw this. It's unhinged. How do we make this work?
We retrofit.
And this week we are going to be discussing the topic of evil expats.
Evil.
And is my link to the expat theme loose?
Tenuous?
Yes. Yes, it is. This was like harder to find a good case for. At least I encountered. I even went as far as to be like, okay, what is the exact definition of an expat? Because when I was Googling to find cases, I kept running into a lot of like xenophobia and a lot of like immigrants causing crime. And I did not want to go down that fucking pathway at all. It's actually a more like complicated research so that you're avoiding, you know, the racism of it all.
We'll get to the racism.
Yeah.
We always do.
We always do. I'm glad that you'll be going over that. But I found a way to make this case that I found very interesting work in true Amanda fashion. So I'm quite excited about today's episode.
I'm glad. I am too, because it was kind of all over the place. Get it? All over the place.
Oh, look at that! Can you believe? So to kick us off, we're going to go over... Oh, hi, Beans.
Oh, Beans.
Oh, my baby just crawled into my lap. Hi, honey. Are you here to wreak havoc, or are you here to be calm and sweet? It's always a crapshoot with this one.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry if I suddenly look down at my crotch. It's because of my pussy.
Oh my God, speaking of.
What?
Remember we were talking about that time your shaver busted halfway through and you had
my billy goat.
Your billy goat crotch?
I remember.
I'm not here to defend Real Housewives of New York at this current moment in time. This new cast.
I haven't watched any of the new cast episodes, and I keep seeing discourse online, and that is making me not want to.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's playing in the background while I'm answering emails. So I was watching it earlier today, listening to it. Jenna Lyons has stick straight pubic hair, and it just kind of like flows down, and it was described as a beard.
Interesting.
So it made me think of you.
Oh,
just like head hair.
Thanks. I love that.
You and Jenna Lyons have something in common.
Great. I don't have stick straight pubic hair. My pubic hair is not that curly, but it's not stick straight.
Yeah.
I feel like
she's wavy.
When it gets long enough, she does kind of a beach wave thing where the ends are a little straight and then the roots curl more. It's kind of fascinating. It truly is fascinating. My armpit hair is stick straight and soft.
Yeah.
If I had that on my head, damn.
I like my armpit hair.
I like it too. It's comfortable. Anyway, all of our hair. That was very distracting. I'm going to share a cocktail recipe for our wine crime pairing today.
Excellent.
As many people have noticed, I'm drinking less often, not only for my mental health, but for my physical health. And also with, Lucy's baby schedule, we're recording a little earlier in the day and there's like shit we got to do after. So I hope that people are enjoying these cocktail recipes that I'm sharing, even if I'm just choosing to get a little high and be able to function the rest of the afternoon. So I hope we can all be supportive of each other. But I looked up, I was like, there's got to be an expat cocktail. It's like too cool a name for there not to be one. And according to blossomtostem.net, there is an expat cocktail. And according to them,
thank God.
Quote, today's drink, the expat cocktail, is a take on the classic aperitivo, the Americano, which is a drink with Campari and sweet vermouth reputed to be popular with Americans abroad during Prohibition.
Oh.
Here, Gran Classico is substituted for the Campari, and Carpano Dry is subbed in for the sweet vermouth. Gran Classico is a bit sweeter and a little less bitter than Campari. I'm not a huge Campari fan. I do find it a little too bitter for me.
Yeah.
So I think I'd actually really like this. So the dry vermouth provides a drying balance. The overall effect is a drier and more herbaceous drink than a classic Americano. It's light, slightly bitter, goldy orange, and effervescent. It's just the sort of drink I like to have with a simple cheese and charcuterie plate before dinner. End quote.
I always have a simple cheese and charcuterie plate before dinner.
Just a simple aperitivo and cheese and charcuterie plate before I eat a box of macaroni and cheese that I've prepared for my dinner.
6-day-old leftovers.
Oh God, I could never. No, I'm really weird about my leftovers. Basically, if I don't eat them the next day, I can't touch them.
Yeah, I used to be a lot more flexible than I am now.
I don't know.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it, but I also don't leave a lot on my plate to be left over. So this is a situation that I don't run into very often. But here is the recipe if you would like to make an expat cocktail. You'll take 1.5 ounces of Gran Classico, 1 ounce of Carpano Dry Vermouth, seltzer, sparkling water, and garnish with an orange peel. So in a Collins glass, a tall boy, add the Gran Classico, Carpano Dry, and some ice. Stir until well chilled. Top with seltzer and a slice of orange peel. Sip and enjoy. I feel like we did the aperitivo thing pretty well in Italy. Everything there, everything is so romanticized, even just like sitting down for your dinner. I'm in love with it. I just felt like I was in a movie under the Tuscan sun.
I just love that you and I end up in romantic places together.
We really do. I literally haven't been on a honeymoon with my husband yet. Oh, there's Beans. She just appeared behind me. My God.
And look, my baby's behind me.
I saw her face through the gap in my headphone. Oh, wow. She's magic. Anyway, so yeah, cheers. I hope that everyone drinking at home chooses to do so responsibly and has a nice time.
Yeah.
All right.
I got a Coke.
Oh, I love that. I also have an ashwagandha tea.
Oh, my God. Self-care.
And didn't realize I still had the sticker on the bottom of these mugs that we got for Christmas. Anyway, should we take a break to remove the sticker and hear a word from our sponsors?
Yes, please.
Let's do it. It's the new year, and a lot of people make resolutions about wanting to travel more. And, what can make travel an amazing experience? Immersing yourself in the language. As you set resolutions for 2025, consider how learning a new language can enrich your life, whether through travel, career advancement, or cultural appreciation.
Rosetta Stone is the most trusted language learning program. It's available on desktop or as an app, and it truly immerses you in the language that you want to learn. They offer so many languages. There's over 25 languages offered that include Spanish, French, Italian, German, Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Dutch, Arabic, Polish,
etc., etc.
I could go on and on. You learn this language so quickly. There are no English translations, so you really learn to like think in that language. It's so intuitive, and it is designed for long-term retention. So, hey, if you're going to go back to Italy in 10 years, but remember that Italian.
Exactly.
You got Rosetta Stone. It's got your back. Rosetta Stone also has speech recognition technology. It's got built-in true accent feature that like gives you feedback on how you pronounce words.
I love that.
It's like having a personal trainer for your accent. They got flexible learning. You can learn anytime, anywhere. Like I said, there's that mobile app, or you can have it on your desktop at home. It's learning a language on your schedule. And it has an amazing value. Lifetime membership has all 25 languages for any and all trips and language needs in your life. That is lifetime access to all 25 language courses Rosetta Stone offers for 50% off.
Ugh.
The world is at your fingertips.
Truly. So start the new year off with a resolution you can reach. Today, Wine and Crime listeners can take advantage of this Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/wine. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/wine today.
It's winter, I'm bored, and I'm very tired of my clothes. So it's actually really fun to like refresh my closet, refresh myself. It's a new year. It's a new me. It's a new wardrobe. This year, I'm resolving to refresh my look with quality pieces and stay within my budget. And thanks to Quince, I can do exactly that.
I truly think everyone needs Quince's cozy Magnolian cashmere sweaters that start at $50.
I think so too.
Come on. And there is no better workout. No. And who doesn't love new like loungewear, activewear? They have these moisture wicking bras and leggings that are designed to move with you and not like trap all that moisture. Say you're a workout person, or you're just like an on-the-go person, or you're me and you're just kind of a sweaty Betty. They are speaking my language. However you choose to refresh your look this year, all Quince pieces are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They're able to do that by partnering directly with top factories, cutting out the cost of the middleman, and passing the savings on to you. And you can rest assured because Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. And of course, they use premium fabrics and finishes for that luxury feel in every piece. I have like a knit fisherman sweater from them that I can wash easily. It looks
That white one?
Yes, it looks
It's so cute.
beautiful. I feel so put together by just this like one easy piece. You know, I live in my little like gold paperclip chain necklace that I got from Quince. I'm just obsessed.
Upgrade your closet this year without the upgraded price tag. Go to quince.com/wine for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/wine to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/wine.
Okay, I don't know if anybody else watched The Substance this year, but that scene where Demi Moore is like getting ready to go on a date and she just like keeps manically going back to the mirror to like examine her face and is having like a full-blown meltdown. She does not feel confident leaving the house.
Yup.
I think many of us have experienced that moment. For me, it certainly recurs around like hormonal times of my life, which is when my skin is the most unruly. And I will wake up thinking I'm going to have just like the easiest, breeziest day. And then there is just like a planet on my forehead or chin. And I am kind of like still deflated. You know, I'm 37. Like these are issues that people have throughout their lives. I feel like we don't talk about that enough. Like unexpected breakouts can really throw off your whole vibe. And feeling confident in your skin really does start with just getting great skincare. Expert skincare, if you will. So that's why we're super excited to partner with Apostrophe. So whether you're dealing with acne, maybe some signs of aging, dark spots, check. Apostrophe helps you get access to the right treatments for your skin.
It is remarkably simple to get this like actual professional expert care delivered to your home. You don't have to leave.
Nope.
So Apostrophe is an online platform that connects you with an expert dermatology team to get customized acne and dermatology treatment for your unique skin.
Everybody's different, babe.
everybody is different. So through Apostrophe, you can get access to oral and topical medications that use clinically proven ingredients to help clear acne. When Amanda and I were in Italy, I went to a pharmacy to get skincare products because like European pharmacies have like higher concentrations of like the stuff that actually works than what you can get in the States. That's basically what I got through Apostrophe.
Yeah, I love that.
The access. So all you do is you fill out an online consultation about your skin goals and your medical history. You snap just like 3 selfies, and a dermatology provider will create a customized treatment plan just for you so quickly, too. Apostrophe offers access to prescription treatments for all types of acne, from hormonal acne to facial acne, even like body, like back, chest, butt acne.
As I age, the acne on my chest has arisen.
Yes.
Yeah. So this
And
is
Apostrophe
like a miracle for me.
Apostrophe can help you.
And we do have a special deal for our audience. Get your first visit for only $5 at apostrophe.com/wine when you use our code WINE. That is a savings of $15. This code is only available to our listeners. So to get started, just go to apostrophe.com/wine and click get started. Then use our code WINE to sign up and you'll get your first visit for only $5. Thank you so much, Apostrophe, for sponsoring this episode. Okay, Lucy, what is our background, maybe psych, and obviously a case that is retrofitted to meet this topic for Evil Expats?
I kind of do have a little bit of psych, but we'll get to it.
Okay.
So, what is an expat? This is what Amanda had to Google
I literally did.
yesterday. As I've said, Ben helps me with my notes, so sometimes he plugs in just very Ben jokes. So he said, an expat is not someone who has foregone their androgynous first name. Expat.
Got it. Good one, Ben.
Do you have the drum? Like, dun-dun-dun.
Oh, I don't have a rim shot. I'll get one.
Okay. If only for these
I'll work
Ben
on
jokes,
that
these BJs.
right now.
Okay.
Rim shot sound.
Oxford says an expat is a person who lives outside their native country. That's it. That's all it is. But it has so many, like, suggestions under the word expat. Inferences. That's the fucking word I was looking for. Its origin comes from mid-18th century as a verb from the medieval Latin expatriat, which has gone out from one's country. Ex is out, patria is native country. We've already kind of touched on this, but let's, at the top, address a glaring issue with this word. The word expat is applied to certain people living outside of their country of origin and not others. Are immigrants expats? Are migrant workers expats? Certainly the term seems to be used pretty exclusively for Western citizens of a certain economic class.
Yeah, it really just felt like, in my research, expats are white folks who go abroad and stay long-term and work and live, and immigrants are non-white people who do basically the exact same thing.
They're treated differently, even if they're doing the exact same thing. My only expatriate experience was living in China in 2010. We were teaching at a university, and there were also teachers of whatever their native language was. There were Spanish teachers and a bunch of other people. There were black dudes, there were Indian dudes, but they were treated, it wasn't the same.
No.
Yeah, but racism in China is its own fucking Pandora's box. So, yeah, wanted to address that. The person I'm talking about today does fit this inferred description of a white person living typically in a non-white country. I think that's another implication, don't you think?
Yeah, it can be.
Like a British person living here, I don't know.
I feel like what I encountered is it's less about the ethnic majority of where they go and more about the individual's racial identity. Like expat just seemed to be applied so much more commonly to white people, whether that be European white folks or American white folks primarily that I saw, living and working abroad. Like
Okay.
an expat could be in Italy, an expat could, an American in Italy, an American in England. But yeah, that was more how I saw it.
Maybe my experience is flavoring my perception of it.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never worked or lived abroad, so I don't know.
Okay, well, let's keep exploring this. From a 2015 article from The Guardian, quote, "In the lexicon of human migration, there are still hierarchical words created with the purpose of putting white people above everyone else." Classic. And this applies to the word expat as well. And then this is from the Wall Street Journal, and this is referring specifically to Hong Kong. Some arrivals are described as expats, others as immigrants, and some simply as migrants. It depends on social class, country of origin, and economic status. It's strange to hear some people in Hong Kong described as expats, but not others, like I was kind of saying. Anyone with roots in a Western country is considered an expat. Filipino domestic helpers are just guests, even if they've been here for decades. Mandarin-speaking mainland Chinese are rarely regarded as expats. It's a double standard woven into official policy. The Hong Kong example is sort of weird and unique also because it's like partially under Chinese rule. I think they gave it back to China recently. It was like under UK rule for a while, but that's a little bit different, but I think that it's a really cool post about it because it gives a very unique perspective. Just wanted to clear that up. At least for my case, like I said, it's a white dude living in Central America.
Mine is a white gal that went abroad.
Okay, great.
Abroad, well, South Central America, right? Yeah, I might eat my words on that. Me not knowing where things are is a pattern.
From your Keys to Guatemala.
Yep, pretty much.
So what are some of the reasons that people choose or more commonly are forced to live an expat life? The largest group of expats worldwide is there for work. So whether you want to call them migrant workers, immigrants, or expats, they're living outside of their native country to work. These are people seeking better opportunities for themselves or perhaps to work and send money back home to their families. This can lead to exploitation, as evidenced in the 2022 World Cup stadium construction, the FIFA World Cup. They built that huge-ass stadium in Qatar.
Yeah.
I think I said it right for the first time in my life. An estimated 400 to 500 individuals died working on projects related to the World Cup. I think we did a drunk dive about this.
We did. We've talked about this. The heat alone was very dangerous.
They weren't provided water. They weren't provided shade. They weren't. I think a lot of them didn't have like a place to stay. I think the official estimates are between 400 and 500 people died working on projects related to the World Cup. But this number is contested. But what isn't contested is that working conditions require dramatic improvement in safety standards. If it was one person who died, we'd have an issue. But some estimates, like this one from The Guardian as quoted by CNN, have the number of deaths north of 6,000 people.
Oof.
Because that's the other problem with it, because they're
reporting.
They're expats, they're workers, they're there to work. I think that they weren't being kept track of very well.
Right.
So that's horrifying. But they're expats. So here are some other types of expats. We have business expatriates. So they're moved there by their employers. We're opening a new office in Belgium.
Yep.
Congrats. You're going to go run it. We have sexpats, which are individuals seeking short or long-term sexual relationships abroad. Obviously, this is rife with exploitation potential, trafficking, any kind of luring. Yeah. Sexpats.
90 Day Fiancé.
My obsession. I love 90 Day Fiancé.
I know you do.
I don't want to. There are totally valid sexpat activities going on.
Of course.
It's not all going.
It's a spectrum.
It's a total spectrum. Well, in China, we met. There were several people that we met who were there to sow their oats. You know,
love it.
And that's great.
You do you.
fleeing environmental changes. So this is going to happen more and more.
Mm-hmm.
A climate refugee.
Mm-hmm.
Fleeing violence. A pertinent example is Central American countries where the U.S. toppled governments but didn't install anything in their place to ensure the safety of their citizens from things like organized crime, violence, kidnappings, extortion, drugs,
Political violence. Yeah.
all that.
We love to create unrest and then go, okay, bye.
Yep. There's no room at the inn.
Bye.
We're all Christians here.
Mm-hmm.
Fleeing religious persecution or persecution due to sexual preferences, gender identity. They're just looking for a safe place to be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Also met a bunch of those people too.
Yep.
Very fun. And some people just want to move abroad because
Yeah, for the experience.
the experience is fun. It's healthy. It's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
In the mid-20th century, like the 30s to 50s-ish, expatriatism was very much in vogue for the Western upper class, specifically for creative types to move to Tangier, Morocco.
This was such a thing.
It was such a thing. And honest to Christ, if, people ask like, oh, what, when and where in time would you like to go back to? I think it would be 1940s Morocco. It sounds incredible. And obviously don't at me with like, oh, it's a post-war, they're so problematic. Like,
Just
do you
to
understand how
peek.
good the food would be? Okay, we'll get into it.
Just to get a peek. Obviously, there's still so many problematic, racially charged issues with like all of this, and it certainly was rampant at that time. But it is so interesting that like this was such a hot spot, and I feel like that trend also really influenced people's style, like their decor style of the time. Like the elite had this the bohemian quote unquote or like artsy elite had this like very Moroccan inspired style, even like
Caftans,
in the
slippers,
West, in the US.
layered rugs, gauzy
Yeah.
curtains.
Rattan everything.
We'll get to it.
Yep.
Because I went down a rabbit hole about Tangier and I don't regret a single thing. So the Tangier International Zone existed from 1925 to 1956, at which point it was reintegrated back into Morocco. So this zone had special economic status, and it came into being after the war during the Paris Protocol as a neutral zone because it was after World War I. The world is destroyed, ripped apart. There's people fucking everywhere. They had to have these neutral zones to kind of get back into place. In line with the wishes of the UK, it was entirely free from any military presence. It was also made into a tax haven with no tariffs on imported or exported goods or gold. They had no exchange controls, no income or revenue taxes, and unlimited freedom of establishment, which is the ability to like start a business to make an income somewhere.
Yeah, which like obviously has very colonizer implications for these, countries. You can go here and grab property and start a business and not pay taxes and like kind of do whatever you want. And we don't care about what that does to the locals.
Well, to be fair, pretty much everyone got in on the action.
Yeah, of
with
course.
all of this. So
that's colonization is a global problem. It's not unique.
Yeah. I think it was intended to be temporary also. So there's that. Tangier had a unique way of being governed with a lot of ambiguity and inefficiencies due to like overlap, all these different countries vying for position and power. There was corruption. So it was kind of just like a free-for-all for like regular citizens.
Yeah, far and away Morocco edition.
Kind of. Yeah.
Race to grab your plot. Whiteys.
I would just go back. So it's got influence from Muslim and Jewish culture. It had previously been a military base, and a whole bunch of countries had interests in Tangier, including, but not limited to, Belgium, France, Italy, the Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, the UK, the US, of course, Morocco. Like, I can't stop thinking about the food. You go to like a spice market, You fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
It's also right on the water. So like seafood, trade, people coming in from everywhere.
It would be a fascinating multicultural experience for sure.
Yeah. The zone, as it was called, had a reputation for tolerance, for diversity, obviously. And this is kind of where like bohemianism
was born,
blossomed.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a safe space for people to feel free to live their own lives, whoever they were.
Whoever they were and whoever they fucked.
Yeah, such as this dude named Paul Bowles.
Ooh.
Not Paul Holes.
Bowls before holes.
Bowls before.
Honestly, not a bad mantra.
No. Paul Bowles, arguably infinitely cooler than Paul Holes. So, do you know who Paul Bowles is?
I recognize the name, but gun to my head, I could not make that connection for you, no.
He was like a big, like, Beat Generation poet
writer,
figure.
Right? Yeah.
He was also a composer, a photographer, and an author, and also a gay man in America.
All right.
He was born in Jamaica, Queens on December 30th, 1910, making him a Capricorn.
Mm.
He was a published poet by the age of 17.
Damn.
With his poem Spire Song, A Song of Ice and Spire. So dumb.
Spackatar.
In 1928, he attended the University of Virginia, where he was interested in T.S. Eliot, Duke Ellington, and apparently Gregorian chants.
Listen, that is an intersection I would love to stand at.
He drops out after a year, wasn't really for him, and he gets a one-way ticket to Paris, where he works for the Paris Herald Tribune. He later said that he wasn't running away, but he was, quote, running towards something, although I didn't know what at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So Paul ends up back stateside a few months later. He hates it. Why would you ever want to leave Paris working for a Parisian newspaper? Hi.
Yeah, that does sound kind of dreamy.
Even
to someone who has no interest in France.
Oh, it gets dreamier. It gets even dreamier. So he hates it back in the U.S. He tried to go back to school, but gave it a hard pass again, and finally heads back to Paris with a certain gentleman named Aaron Copland.
Okay.
Does that ring a bell? He's
No.
a famous American composer.
Well, how famous could he be if I don't know who he is? I just assumed you were going to say Aaron Carter.
Well, this is in like 1930-ish.
Aaron Carter spans all timelines.
Aaron's party, come get it.
R.I.P. God bless.
Aaron!
Oh, done it again.
No, it was, grounded.
I love that song.
Beep, beep. Have a good time.
Have a good time.
What the fuck is wrong with us?
Poetry. Art.
Paul Bowles' wishes.
T.S. Eliot could never.
Okay, so I'm 90% sure that Aaron Copland wrote the
Aaron's party, come get it.
'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis
Oh,
a
okay.
And I am almost sure of this because I Googled Aaron Copland, so I was like, I know that name. He probably takes a steamer back to Paris with Aaron Copland. They were lovers. They were lovers in post-war Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Can you fucking even?
Yeah, this is like every Oscar-nominated movie from the 90s playing out.
Yeah, Adrian Brody is in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you watch
Yeah.
Nikki Glaser at the Oscars?
No.
Or the Golden Globes?
I don't watch award shows.
She's so
I don't have the
fucking
patience.
funny. She after the Golden Globes, I saw a clip of her on Howard Stern. I think she went on Howard Stern the next day, and he asked her like, what were some of the jokes that were like too bad for the Golden Globes? And she's like, oh, I've got a whole document. So he had her read some, and one of them was like, it was something about how Adrian Brody is always in Holocaust movies, and she's like, if Adrian Brody could go back in time, he wouldn't kill baby Hitler. He'd thank him for giving him all these roles.
Oh, God.
It's awful.
Ballsy.
Oh, she's funny. Okay.
I am following the discourse over the musical that won in the best musical / comedy category over Wicked.
Oh,
Do you?
the gender affirming surgery.
Yeah, the sex change operation, quote unquote, song.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm shook.
What the fuck? That won over Wicked?
Yes!
I've never even heard of it.
I hadn't either.
Well,
And I am as puzzled as everyone on TikTok who is learning about this for the first time. Like, what is this?
I
Anyway, that's how much I pay attention.
it's kind of catchy though. Yes, yes, yes.
I can't.
So Aaron and Paul are back in I almost said New Orleans, Paris.
That would have been the perfect place for them to land in the U.S., though.
Yes, the French Quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just like lounging naked in bed with all the sheets rough, messed up and the gauzy curtains, and they're smoking cigarettes.
And it's humid.
And their glass patio, like windows are open. You can hear the streets below.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, some cathedral outside.
Mm-hmm. There's a baguette right there waiting for them to eat it with some fresh butter and soft cheese.
Yep. They don't even slice it. They just rip chunks off.
Mm-hmm. Very strong coffee. They're going to be shitting through a screen door in an hour. But for now, they're in post-coital bliss.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Paul meets Gertrude Stein casually.
Like you do.
Who was another incredibly famous author of the time. And Gertrude convinces Paul you got to check out Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
It's 1931. Morocco's the place to be. Tangier, the zone.
Mm-hmm.
So Paul and Aaron go. They stay in a house in the hills above Tangier Bay, which inspired many of his short stories later in life because that had to have been breathtaking.
Stunning.
Paul falls in love with Morocco at this point.
Mm-hmm.
In the late 1930s, he returns to New York City. He marries a playwright named Jane Auer, though it's widely known that this is a lavender marriage, an unconventional marriage, because they're both gay.
Yeah, they're doing it for taxes.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking whoever they fucking want to. That is amazing.
Yep. They would remain together until Jane's death in 1973.
I feel like I want to see a future of more platonic marriages like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's such a beautiful concept where it's like, I commit to being like your person forever. And part of like being each other's person is being open to all of the exploration and the freedom. I just think that it's a beautiful concept of marriage. I think it's fucking awesome.
I think it's cool when people don't necessarily treat their friends and their romantic partners differently. It's all the same person.
Yes,
or
I want to
group of
marry
people
all my
or-
fucking friends. I want to be a platonic polygamist.
Yeah. And they were together for 40 some years until she died. Like they were together for life.
Yeah,
And they
took care of each other.
They probably had the coolest conversations. They probably traveled everywhere.
Ugh. Fucked everybody.
The best wines.
Get out of here. This is a dream.
I know. So skipping ahead after their marriage a little bit, Paul and Jane moved to Tangier permanently in 1947, and they would never permanently move back to the U.S. So they fully moved there and stayed living there for the rest of
Her life.
both of their lives.
Both of their lives. Okay.
So during this time, Paul would write his most famous work of fiction, The Sheltering Sky. I believe he worked as a translator for a while, and he studied Moroccan music, and he was able to love as freely as he could and in his own way. He stayed in Morocco for 52 years until his death in 1999.
Damn.
He was so old.
Good for him. Yeah,
Well,
because
he
he was
was
born in what,
89.
1910?
Yeah, he's 89.
Yeah, that's a good run.
That is an excellent. If you were alive through almost the entire 20th century, that's a wild. That was a wild century. No, there's not really any like conclusion to I just wanted to tell you about Paul Bowles.
Great.
So let his story be a lesson that if you're able to travel and get away, sometimes that's the best way to find happiness. For some people, depending on your circumstances, if you don't.
Yeah, it can be a beautiful life.
If you don't feel safe and loved where you're at, there's probably somewhere in the world where you would. So yeah.
I'd like to hope so. For those of us who do not have the means or opportunities to do that, we stay the course and keep trying to build that right here where we live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's a better conclusion. So if you want to become an expat, you got to first get ready for a lot of paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
Each country has their own intricacies revolving around visas and work permits. Probably a good first step would be to contact the embassy of the country you want to move to. Well, first of all, decide which country.
Sure. Throw a dart at a map.
Well, I don't think I'd recommend that. We'll kind of get to some of this. But contact their embassy with the goal of learning what the steps are specific to that country, because they're all different.
Mm-hmm.
If you go online and find an expat message board, that's a good resource for not only like getting there, getting a lay of the land, but also like finding work.
Wasn't there a viral news story a few years ago about a family, like a right-wing family in the U.S. who were like so pissed off about like Biden winning that they moved to Russia.
Yeah.
And then they were like, I regret everything.
Yeah. They're like, it sucks here.
Yeah. I love that.
Zero research.
That's fucking funny.
That is funny.
That's good. That's gold.
Yeah. So then you got to apply for the necessary visas, and then you wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Another option is to be very rich or to have a job that allows you to work remotely, and then you can be like a digital nomad and find countries where it's easy to get a tourist visa.
I have a friend who was an expat for several years. His husband at the time had gotten a job in Amsterdam, and his job was remote. So they were able to go, because they were married, on like his husband's work visa, and they lived in Amsterdam for years and loved it.
That is fucking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I'd
live in Amsterdam in a fucking heartbeat. I love Amsterdam. It's so fucking cool. Everybody's so nice.
I've never been to Amsterdam, but I would venture to say, first of all, I think at this point in my life, I'm too far gone to move abroad again.
Oh yeah, no. I wouldn't move.
Do it while you're young, people.
Yeah.
For those listening, do it while you're young.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could live pretty much anywhere for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I want to live in Antarctica for a year, but
maybe not.
Yeah.
But sometimes living here, I feel like I'm in Antarctica. So maybe I am cut out for it.
Yeah.
And I am really salty about the fact that we have no fucking snow. So maybe I will go to Antarctica.
Yeah. Antarctica's looking, actually, I wonder what their visa process is. Because, like, nobody really lives there unless they're at, like, a research station.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not, like, super habitable.
No.
For humans.
No. But that's why I wonder if you even need a visa. Is there a government?
I don't know. That's a good question. We'll have to do an Antarctic crimes episode.
I love it. There have to be at least 2.
Yes, there have to be at least 2.
I'm going to put Antarctica crimes on this.
Put it on there. Listen, if feral hogs could bring up something, I think Antarctica could bring up something. You know my weird fan picks. I'm the fan. Can yield unhinged content, so why not try it?
Why not try it? Also, for April Fool's Day, we should put out an announcement that we're doing our next Trova trip to Antarctica.
Way to give it away.
Oh, dang it.
It'll be a good test to see who's actually fucking listening, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here are some countries with easy visas if you have the flexibility and are eager to be adventurous and just go somewhere that's easy. Albania has a year-long tourist visa, which is only available to Americans.
Interesting.
A little weird. Georgia, which has a gorgeous cultural history, and they're only occasionally threatened by Russia. They let you stay for a year also. Mm-hmm. You could go to Palau and just island hop for a full year. Mm-hmm. Costa Rica is easy to stay for 6 months for Americans, Canadians, and most of Europe. Plus, you can... Some countries just let you, like, leave and then re-enter, like, right away and get another 6 months.
I feel like I knew people that I worked with in restaurants who lived in Costa Rica and worked there, but they would come home for, like, a couple days every 6 months because it was the easiest way to extend their visa.
Yeah. So this is known as a border run. Mexico's the same way. You can just leave and come back. So that's called a border run. And those countries are totally okay with it, even though, or maybe because their tourist visas are significantly shorter in duration than like some other countries. Argentina is another one, which incidentally is known for having a lot of expats from a certain country that did some really bad shit during World War II. Also Taiwan. But that's another complicated situation involving China.
Yep.
Because China thinks Taiwan is part of China. Anyway, another can of worms. Not going there today. So that's our background. And now I'm going to tell you about my case because she's wild. Here we go. William Holbert, very close to your husband's name.
Bill Holes.
Bill Holes. Ew. Bulls before holes. William Holbert was born on September 12th, 1979, a Virgo, in the rural mountains of North Carolina. So this was in the town of Saluda, it was a bustling metropolis of 713 people.
Good for them.
Holbert's family owned and managed a small apple orchard and cattle ranch. William played football in high school. He gets named a defensive captain or field general. Ooh. Gross. He's a big dude. There's pictures of him on the drive.
Okay.
But he will get bigger because he starts doing steroids. But back in high school, he was just playing football. He was a field general. He was known as like a really bright but kind of unremarkable student. Like
C's get degrees, babe.
His teachers were like, he has so much, potential, but he's just not. He just doesn't really care.
Oh, yeah. This is a big boy.
He's a big boy.
Like, he's well over 6 feet tall.
Big man.
And just, like, muscle. Like, he looks like
a lumberjack.
Yeah. He looks like an Olympic shot putter. He looks like the Trunchbull.
Yes. He looks like Miss Trunchbull. Okay. Yeah. He was also known for being a troublemaker. But on paper, on record, he only had one incident while he was a teenager, and that was in 1996 when he was 17 years old. He got fined by a game warden for hunting on federal land. Okay,
so he didn't have, like, a childhood history of violence.
Correct.
He got into some, like, teenage fuckery hunting where he wasn't supposed to, but he wasn't, like, robbing gas stations at gunpoint or doing anything that directly violently harmful.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
William got married at the age of 18. He had 3 kids by the time he was 22. He ran a landscaping business, and he seemed to be just like a hardworking, rural North Carolina kind of guy. He also idolized Adolf Hitler and Tony Soprano.
Oh, okay. What a combo.
But there were rumors of worse shit. So people kind of knew that he was on steroids. There was also a town rumor, a story that apparently he wanted the family dog to be put down, even though the dog was totally healthy. So like his family was like, you're not putting the dog down. And then like soon after that, the dog just disappeared. So people assumed that he went out, shot his dog and got rid of it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. The sociopathy with this one it runs deep.
Yeah, don't love that.
And surprise, surprise, his business ventures, which in addition to the landscaping company, also included either owning or working at a pool hall, and I believe managing a gym called The Body Shop.
Ew, okay. The Body Farm.
A gym called The Body Shop. Get real. So like
Grow up.
businesses didn't work out. The jobs didn't work out. While he was failing at the body shop, Willie began an affair with a lady named Laura Michelle Reese. Okay. So he put Laura up in her own apartment. He was dating her, sleeping with her. Willie's wife found out. She filed
he's married.
Yeah, he's married with 3 kids.
Oh, shit. That's right. Mm-hmm. Fuck.
Yeah. So he gets a girlfriend. Wife finds out, files for divorce, leaves him.
I don't know why I thought, like, when you were talking about the family dog, I thought it was like his, when he was younger and it was his parents. I got confused. Wow.
He was the patriarch of this family and he probably killed his dog.
Yuck.
So, yeah, like, bye. Away from me, pig.
Away to me, pig.
Again, one source said that he owned the body shop, but I think he was just a manager at the body shop.
Mm-hmm.
So one day, his boss approached him and told him that his Nazi tattoos were making some people uncomfortable.
Oh, were they?
Mm-hmm. But William was like, no, that's not me anymore. I don't hold those beliefs anymore. Like, they're tattoos, unfortunately, but like that was me a while. Like, I don't do that anymore. So
I'll then get them covered up or removed then, bitch.
So he said, I will cover them up while I'm at work. So he could keep his job. There was also a report that his boss found out that William had stolen $25,000 from the gym by writing out company checks for his own personal use.
Cool.
He came back and said, oh, I thought I was allowed to do that to pay for my living expenses.
Oops.
And the boss was like, no, but if you quit, I won't press charges.
Mm-hmm.
So he quit. The manager didn't press charges. So that incident wasn't, like, the police weren't involved. So that didn't come up until, like, later. And so, yeah, remember when he was like, I'm not a Nazi anymore?
Yeah, 2 seconds ago. Yeah, I remember.
From 2003 to 2005, he was the leader of a group called, this is not a Nazi group. It's just called the Southern National Patriots.
Yeah, we just really love America.
Yeah. So it was a controversial group. It was a racist group.
Definitely not white supremacists, I swear.
They were often seen in their little matching outfits, stomping around Forest City, North Carolina.
Did these outfits have hoods?
Probably.
Jesus fucking Christ.
At one point, it had 500 members and was labeled as a racist hate group by the NAACP.
Yup.
William also ran a bookstore with the same name that sold little pamphlets and buttons with swastikas and other Nazi shit.
The fuck?
He fully ran a Nazi store. And tapes, I saw this. There's video footage from 2005 that shows Holbert ranting about taxes and the need to preserve Southern culture.
Which, coming out of a white person's mouth, you know exactly what the fuck that means.
Yep.
I wonder if he had some nice, like, Confederate flag imagery on his tattoo collection, too.
Oh, I think it was a lot worse than Confederate flags.
Sure. But yeah.
So when Willie left the group in 2005, the organization collapsed.
Oh, they needed him.
They just needed him. He really brought something special to that hate group. This is from Crime Library. Okay, I couldn't get a lot more information about this, but the way it's written is so fucking creepy. Here we go.
Okay.
Holbert and Reese, so him and his girlfriend, then moved to northern Cleveland County near Charlotte. They rented a 6-room house on 54 acres. Huge. Paying for 6 months' rent in cash. The landlord, Donna Stevens, remembers that Holbert nonchalantly peeled the cash off of an even bigger wad of bills in his pocket. He just had a bunch of cash. He told her he was planning to open a gym of his own. 2 months later, Stevens found that they had trashed the house and disappeared, leaving behind beer bottles, pizza boxes, and racist graffiti. And a strange smell.
Oh, great. Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't know if they robbed banks.
Okay.
But they were on a crime spree.
Yep. This is where they're getting all that cash.
At some point, William sold a stolen car.
Okay.
And also, I don't know how he did this. He managed to sell a $200,000 house that he did not own.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So this is the beginning of their Bonnie and Clyde Eras tour across 6 states. On the run, they stole cars. They assaulted a state trooper. They got on a high-speed chase, I think in Wyoming, that they got away.
Damn.
And they had their photos on America's Most Wanted.
Mm-hmm.
In 2006, they escaped the country probably via cruise ship. Gross.
Hate that.
I know.
Hate that.
It might be really easy to flee on a cruise ship, though.
Yeah,
it might be
day
easier than
trip.
an airport.
You go off ship for a day and bye. Don't
Yeah.
come back. They leave without you.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't notice for a while that you weren't there.
And then you're gone.
And then you're gone.
So
Not
they
a bad idea.
They end up in Costa Rica. There they meet a lawyer named Jeffrey Klein, who tells the couple that he has fled the U.S. with his wife's nest egg.
Mm-hmm.
So they kill him. They kill him and take his money.
Oh, because they want the nest egg. Okay.
Mm-hmm. William later admitted to this killing.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go to Boquete, Panama next. So this guy sets up, of all fucking things, a fake psychiatric practice.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And this next part is important to explain just because of what happens next. According to the New York Post, in Panama, in order to sell your home, no lawyer is required on the spot. As long as you had the certificates and the corporate paperwork, you could sell your home directly to someone else because their law is whoever had physical possession of the paperwork was legally the home's owner.
Okay, so you could steal or kill someone and take ownership of their home and sell it.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Billy. In 2007, he answers an ad for a house in Bocas del Toro that was for sale by a guy named Michael Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So this area of the Bocas is called the Darklands,
mm-hmm.
and it was known for expats who wanted anonymity.
Okay.
They were trying to get away. Like it was a community of expats, but like nobody dug too deep into who everyone was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fairly remote. It's not necessarily like full of tourists all the time.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Okay. All right.
At this time, there were about 2,000 expats overall in this Darklands area, with about 2/3 of them being Americans. So Michael Brown and William arranged to meet up to talk about this house that Michael had for sale. And it turns out that Michael had a bit of a history himself. His real name was Michael Francis Salem. He was a career criminal who had a background with like drug running and trafficking and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, William found out that he had a bank account in Hong Kong with a lot of fucking money in it.
Okay. Target.
So he lived in Panama with his wife and their son under assumed names. I don't have any information about the wife and son.
Yeah.
But the three of them were living there.
Or what their deal was.
Mm-hmm. So William stays with Michael Brown for like a few days because he had like traveled to go there. So then William returns home to where they were living in Panama. He has the home's paperwork. He tells everyone that he bought the house from Michael Brown. I bought this house from Michael Brown. I have the paperwork. It's our house now.
Okay.
Given Michael's checkered history, it's likely that no one filed a missing persons report when Michael and his family just weren't around anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So now William and Laura have a 3-bedroom house in this community of a bunch of expats.
Got it. All right. How convenient.
Very convenient.
He just sold it and just disappeared.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And no one's going to follow up because people are like, well, that's their business. Like,
Yeah.
you know, everyone here is kind of weird. Everyone here wants to be left
Escaping
alone.
something. Yeah. Kind of a perfect community. If you don't want to know your neighbors, let's go.
Yep. So they move in. They start going by Bill Adolfo. He gave himself the middle name Adolfo.
Okay. A little on the nose there, boss.
Yeah. So Bill Adolfo and Jane Cortez. These were their new names. Bill and Jane.
Okay.
They put a sign up outside of their house that read Hacienda Cortez And then he also like converted their pool house into a bar that he called the Jolly Roger Social Club.
Ew. Was it like pirate themed?
Yeah, it has a disgusting skull and crossbones motif. It's like hand painted. It looks so trashy. It's so bad.
Are there pictures? Oh, there is. There's one.
Mm-hmm. Can you see the sign?
I see Jolly Roger Social Club. Looks like shit, by the way. This is some... I would never stand on that deck. That does not look stable.
No. Yeah, the house is...
It's fine.
It's fine. It's big. It's a house.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't pay for it.
Mm-mm.
They were very sociable. They had a lot of friends. William wore a Viking helmet on the weekends.
Oh, casual. Okay.
And he became known as Wild Bill.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep. So after about a year there, Bill meets a guy named Bo Eisler, who was a retired antiques dealer / gallery owner from New Mexico. Bo allegedly told Bill that he had a home that he wanted to sell in Big Creek.
Okay.
Eisler was last seen on November 29th, 2009, leaving a cafe with his home's paperwork. So he probably did have a house he was going to sell.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this guy bought so-and-so's house recently. Maybe he'll buy mine.
Yeah. Or it's also been a year, so like maybe they just want a new house in this other area.
Yeah.
One of Bo's friends tried to file a missing persons report from New Mexico, but the local Panamanian authorities didn't find the story compelling enough to follow up.
The Panamaniacs.
The Panamaniacs. So once again, the Cortezes move into the home of an American who coincidentally hasn't been heard from since selling their home.
Weird.
A few months later, in March 2010, a lady named Cheryl Hughes, she went by Cher. She was from Missouri.
Cher from Missouri.
She also went missing. Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, she texted a couple of friends that she was going to leave town, but they said later that the texts were they didn't sound like her.
Okay, so someone was using her phone.
Probably.
Yep.
So she and it was her ex-partner, but they're still like BFFs. She and her ex-partner, Keith Worley, were drinking buddies of Wild Bill and Laura. So they knew each other.
Yeah, they had a relationship.
A short time after Cher was last seen, Willie and Laura were like, oh yeah, by the way, everyone, we bought Cheryl's house and her business from her before she left. And this was extremely suspicious because according to Keith, first of all, she would never sell all of her shit and leave without telling Keith.
Yeah.
That they were like still very much involved with each other. Also, that house was Cheryl's dream house. Everyone said she never would have sold it.
Mm-hmm.
It was on its own island. She owned her own island.
Yeah.
And it is also beautiful. There's like arched, like terrace, like doorway thingies across the front. It's beautiful. And she also never would have left alone so suddenly.
No.
And only offering that house to the Cortezes. Like nothing about this felt right. The story was that Cher left for Panama City, even though, oh yeah, she also left behind her dogs. And weirdly, Willie had her iPod.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can believe leaving the pets, but the iPod, never.
I know. So people get suspicious now in the Bocas. Missing persons reports are filed. Our little Willie gets a little scared, goes back on the run with Laura.
Little Willie.
Their faces are all over local television and newspapers. They're also in a country where they're probably not the majority ethnicity-wise. So, yeah, they stand out. Outside San Jose, the couple rented a cabin, but the owner recognized them and called the police right away. So they narrowly escape again. At this point, Interpol and FBI are involved. They stole a powerboat by throwing the owner over the side and crossed the San Juan River. But luckily, Nicaraguan soldiers on the other side of the river recognized them. And the couple
That's Wild Bill.
And the couple was greeted by a line of machine guns, thus ending little Willie's quest for escape.
All right.
So they were arrested on July 26, 2010. Upon investigation in the backyard of the house that belonged to the Brown family, they found 5 bodies.
Oh my God. They were just burying them out back?
In the house, the first house that they stole.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then as far as that first murder, the one that he confessed to, I don't know that they ever found that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because they found these victims all in the same spot, which was in the yard.
Right.
Ugh.
That's so
including the
fucking
son,
creepy.
the whole family, the parents and the boy.
That's awful.
Yeah. Prosecutors accused William of befriending other Americans and then shooting them in the back of the head, burying their bodies, and stealing their shit.
Well, yeah.
But William was in court was like, no. You've got it all wrong.
Fable.
I did kill those people.
He's living in Fable rules.
But
this video game. You can just kill people and steal their fucking houses, but then, like, the more evil you get, you start to, like, grow horns and have, like, a red aura.
Oh, yeah.
I just went full evil.
He was fully red, fully horny.
Fable rules.
So he's like, no, you've got it all wrong. I did kill those people, but all of them were contracted by drug cartels. I was paid to do it. So they're the real criminals.
And I was taking out bad guys, including that child I killed.
Yeah, I'm just the vessel. It doesn't count if I got paid to do it.
No, it doesn't count.
Also, Laura had nothing to do with any of this. She doesn't know anything. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Of course, he had no names or evidence to back this up because that was total bullshit. Investigators had also started looking into the disappearances of several local Panamanians who had worked either in the area or like for some of the people who disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And they believe that William might have been responsible for up to 9 murders.
Wow.
And that's just in Panama, because there's also suspicions that he killed people in the U.S. before they went to Panama.
So we may never know how many.
I don't think we will.
Fuck.
On August 14th, 2017, he was sentenced to 47 years in a Panamanian prison, and Laura was sentenced to 26 years. He immediately appealed because Panama had a 20-year maximum sentence at the time. But that appeal
sucks to suck.
But that appeal is still being reviewed, and I hope it's never reviewed.
Yeah, don't come here and murder a bunch of people and then be pissed that you have to adhere and comply with the laws of their judicial system.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks for you. Bye.
Well, I think he's arguing that, it's your rule that it's a 20-year max, so I should not have gotten 47 years.
Okay.
But also,
either way.
You killed a bunch of people. 47 years is pretty lenient.
You can't be
out
here.
So in September of 2014, so this is going back to before his sentencing when he was just languishing in prison.
Mm-hmm.
It was reported by his lawyer that William had been appointed chaplain of the Catholic Church in the public jail of David.
Oh, good. He found God.
He found Jesus.
He's changed.
It also looks like he was involved with some like religious groups and like human rights groups, but this is his lawyer talking. And even if he just like signed his name on something, so that's the record. But according to a Daily Mirror expose in 2019, this fucker is more likely enjoying his prison sentence. He allegedly has access to firearms. He eats fast food every day. He posts selfies.
Like he's on social media?
I guess. Or the internet anyway.
Ew.
And he is part
of... immediately goes to try and find him.
And is part of numerous violent gangs, which he refers to as his church groups, and he also calls himself Brother Bill. Reese is still... Brother,
No, brother,
Laura is also still in prison. Somehow they got a divorce while they were in prison, and Laura remarried.
Listen, that's like the last episode we did, where my guy on death row got divorced, married, divorced, and married again.
I don't. On
death row.
So
making really good use of those conjugal visits. Get the church chaplain in there. I mean, it's certainly doable. You don't have to be in person to file for divorce.
Honestly, if you have nothing better to do and you're just in a Panamanian prison,
why not get married, and divorced a bunch of times? Yeah, what else? Literally, what else do you have going on?
Why not fall in love? That would take up so much of your brain space. Why not
fall in love? You're clearly spending a little bit of time finding God, probably no time getting all of your Nazi tattoos covered up.
They hit different when it's not in the U.S.
It hits the same everywhere.
I know. I'm joking.
I know. God.
Okay, well, that is my case. That's the story of Wild Bill.
I hate him. He's horrible and he's disgusting and he is so red. He clearly took the evil journey in Fable.
He does not look right.
No.
He doesn't
Not
look
at
right.
all. Not at all. He's disgusting. Thank you so much for making him exist to me.
Welcome.
You don't exist to me.
Well, we better move on before we remember him.
Okay, let's do it. Let's take a quick ad break so I can use my memory eraser and we'll be right back to hear my case.
The most valuable app that you can have on your phone in 2025 is Upside. No other app out there gives you the power to earn more like Upside does. So whether you're filling up your tank, you're going out to eat, or you're shopping for groceries, the Upside app gives you opportunities to earn cash back on every purchase. Necessary purchases that you would have had to make anyway. Top earners on Upside are getting as much as $300 cash back every month.
Yeah. It's awesome. This is a free app. The free Upside app gets you cash back on daily essentials, like Lucy said, like gas, groceries, and dining. I love this app. You open it up and it's like a map of where you're at. So no matter where you are, there will be, it'll show you if there are places nearby that you can get cash back through Upside. And that includes like tons of gas stations, local restaurants, like chain restaurants, like all kinds of stuff that I would be like going into an app to be like, okay, what am I going to order today anyway? And it's like, yo, right here, I could get cash back. There are over 100,000 gas stations, grocery stores, and restaurants on the Upside app, ensuring that cash back is always just around the corner. And yes, it's real cash back. There's no confusing rewards, points, credits. It's just money that you can transfer straight to your bank account. Next, you claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside, then pay as usual with a credit or debit card, follow the steps in the app, and get your cash back, baby. People can earn 3 times more cash back with Upside than any other product. This includes loyalty programs and credit card rewards. I'm telling you, $1 million cash back is being earned by Upside users each week. Like, get your piece of the pie, baby.
Download the free Upside app and use promo code GALS to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas using promo code GALS.
Y'all know I'm a sweater, okay? I talk about this openly. And that includes at night when I'm doing what I thought was nothing by sleeping. And your nighttime bedroom temperature has a huge impact on your sleep quality. So if you wake up too hot or too cold, listen, I have had so many like middle of the night struggles to rip my clothes off because I'm so hot. I'm telling you, I cannot recommend Miracle Made's bed sheets high enough. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use silver infused fabrics that are temperature regulating so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about like the cool side of the pillow or like swishing your legs around every couple minutes.
Yup.
These sheets are self-cleaning. Yeah, as if the temperature stuff wasn't enough.
Yep.
They are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leading them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. So like,
Less laundry.
I can smell old sheets from here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
No one wants that. And those same silver-infused fabrics, which are inspired by NASA, are thermoregulating for these sheets. And they're designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, no matter the weather, so you get better sleep every night. They're also designed for your skin. So you heard me say the word bacteria a second ago.
Yeah.
You're sleeping in it.
Yep.
Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne. You can sleep clean with Miracle. Miracle sheets are also luxuriously comfortable. They're so soft.
They are.
You wouldn't know they were infused with silver. And they also don't have the high price tag of other luxury brands, and they feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels.
So upgrade your sleep this year. Go to trymiracle.com/gals to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself, please buy them for yourself, or as a gift for a loved one. If you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code GALS at checkout, you'll get a free 3-piece towel set and save an extra 20% off. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/gals and use the code GALS to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/gals to treat yourself. And thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack sponsor. So it's a new year. You've probably got resolutions. There's a high likelihood that they have to do with your health. So lean into it, baby. Lean into that health and wellness this year with delicious IQ Bar products carefully crafted for superior brain and body performance.
I love IQ Bar for their whole host of products. But, you know, I'm a type 1 diabetic girly, and I have a really hard time with breakfast. Like, I am not motivated to make myself breakfast every morning, but I know I need to eat something, and I don't want to have, like, a sugar bomb that's going to throw my numbers off for the day and just leave me miserable. But I know that I can go into my cupboard and grab an IQ Joe to, like, get me started in the morning and one of the delicious IQ bars, and I'm going to be good to go for my morning boost. Seriously, start the new year off right with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. Their ultimate sampler pack includes all 3, and right now IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners an exclusive deal, 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. I'm in love with this ultimate sampler pack. That's how I got introduced to IQ Bar. It's a great way to try all of their products and flavors. You get 7 IQ bars, 4 IQ mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. So you're going to have like a sampling of the different flavors of the hydrating things you add to your water, of like the coffee, the mushroom coffees that you add to your water, and these bars that are like the perfect breakfast. Also, like I said, I'm diabetic, so I love that all IQ Bar products are entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial sweeteners. They have more fiber, they have less sugar and carbs than the alternatives. They have so many delicious flavors. My personal faves are the lemon blueberry and the banana nut. Like, get out of here with that. They're
Chocolate
so good.
sea salt.
Oh, stop. The IQ mix is a 0 sugar drink mix that hydrates with electrolytes. So again, you're not going to get that like massive sugar boost right away in the morning, but you're going to get nice and hydrated. It can help improve your mood with magnesium and boost clarity with lion's mane adaptogen. And the IQ Joe is very similar. It's a jitter-free instant coffee that's packed with 200 milligrams of natural caffeine, brain and productivity boosting ingredients like that magnesium and lion's mane mushroom adaptogen. And it comes in a bunch of really delicious flavors.
And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. To get your 20% off, just text GALS to 64,000. Text GALS, GALS, to 64,000. That's GALS to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
Here we go. Now, after hearing your case, I don't really feel like I misunderstood the assignment fully.
Okay.
I think I kind of maybe. Well, no. The crime, you know what? I'm not going to say anything more because I don't care if I did this right or not. Let's be really honest with each other. I'm just going to dive in and I'll explain how I felt like this fit when the time comes.
Okay, I'm ready.
So on May 11th, 2022, professional cyclist, like on a bicycle, Anna Mariah Wilson, who went by Mo, was found dead in an Austin, Texas apartment just days before a major cycling race.
Oh, God.
Mo
Big bike got her.
Big bike.
Oh, no.
Mo was a rising star in the world of professional cycling. She was only 25 years old when she was killed, but her accomplishments in the sport were already very impressive. She'd been traveling across the country, she was competing in various races, and had really begun establishing herself as one of the best in the world in this like kind of niche genre of cycling because her big skill was in like cycling on gravel. Like there are like gravel races. It's wild.
Oh.
I can't even imagine. I like accidentally hit gravel once on my scooter and thought I didn't even fall and I thought I was going to die. So I can't imagine.
Last time you walked, you broke your foot.
Last time you walked, you broke your foot. I am not biking on gravel. I'm barely biking on a clear surface. No.
Also, those people go so fucking fast. Like
So
watching
fast.
bike races gives me such anxiety.
It's wild.
And
it's
in the
wild.
last Tour de France, was it not like raining?
I mean, yeah, they do it in like, I don't think this is exactly the kind of cycling that she was doing, that like road, that's high speed, like road cycling. But yeah, they do that shit, rain or shine, baby, because the tracks are outdoors.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't like
it takes an incredible amount of discipline and an incredible amount of skill.
Oh, it was the Olympics. It was raining during the cycling Olympics, and I was like, I can't look at it. And
No,
like
it's
there
so
were
scary.
crash outs.
Of course there are.
Ugh.
Of course there are. I do kind of love watching the giant like Tour de France pileups because they're so silly, but people really do get hurt. So
Oh yeah,
be careful.
it does look kind of silly, but if I know they're gonna crash, it's kind of entertaining. But if it's like, ooh.
I want to see it on those like weird bikes with the giant front wheel and the tiny back wheel.
What are those called?
Penny
Like
farthing or whatever they're fucking called. Yeah.
It was a knickerbocker.
A knickerbocker, a penny farthing. Anyway,
A
back to
dingle hopper.
this murder. So,
Sorry.
born in 1997 in Texas, Mo quickly became known for her skill, her determination, and her athletic prowess. Those who knew her described her as a kind, down-to-earth person who loved her sport, but also cared deeply about her friends and family. She was absolutely adored by her peers in the cycling community, and she was making a name for herself as a future star of the sport. Her specific niche was cycling on gravel, like I said, which is something I will never comprehend. It sounds terrifying, but it's a thing, and she was fucking awesome at it. But in May of 2022, just days before the Gravel Locos race in Texas, her life was tragically cut short. On May 11th, Mo was staying with a friend at her friend's apartment in Austin. She's not from Austin, so she was just staying there while she was in town to compete in the race. She'd been spending time with a fellow cyclist, a guy named Kaitlin Strickland, with whom she had a close friendship. However, things were far more complicated there than they seemed. Kaitlin Strickland was also in a long-term relationship with a young woman named Kaitlin Armstrong, a yoga instructor.
It's always a yoga instructor.
And that will be very important later.
Ooh, okay. Were Mo and Colin in a romantic relationship, or they were just friends?
Not at the time.
Okay.
As investigators would later discover, Armstrong, Kaitlin, had become aware of the growing closeness between her boyfriend and Mo, so Colin and Mo, and Kaitlin was jealous. That jealousy would become a critical part of this story.
Just chill out, yoga.
I mean, do more yoga about it. The night before the murder, Mo and Colin had spent time together at a local bar with friends, chatting, preparing for the race, like other racers are all in town. This would be the last time that anyone saw Mo alive. Around 10:30 p.m. that night, Mo was shot multiple times inside of the apartment where she was staying, found by the friend she was staying with, who desperately tried to give her CPR while on the phone with police, but it was too late.
In her friend's apartment.
Yup. Her friend wasn't home. Mo was home. Someone came into the apartment and shot her and ran off. And then the friend came home and found her bloody and deceased on the floor.
Oh, Jesus.
When police arrived, they found Mo dead. The killer had fled the scene, leaving no immediate clues, but investigators would soon learn that they were dealing with something much more personal. The investigation into Mo's death initially focused on the people closest to her: her temporary roommate, the friend who let her stay with her friends, the folks at the bar that night, and the people that she had been in contact with in the days leading up to her murder. But it quickly became clear that there was a connection between Mo, Colin, and Kaitlin. The following is an excerpt from A&E's true crime blog, and A&E's true crime blogs are gold. They're so fucking good. So, check them out. Kaitlin Armstrong and Colin Strickland began dating in 2019, but the couple had a brief breakup in 2021. During their split, Colin dated Mo Wilson, whom he met on the racing circuit. So Colin and Mo were both racers. Kaitlin was not. A few months later, he reconciled with Kaitlin. They got back together, who at the time knew that while they were broken up, we were on a break. He had been seeing Mo.
Okay.
The yoga instructor had called Mo to warn her to stop seeing Colin. Like, stay away from my man. Shit.
That's never necessary.
No, it's not.
I can't think of a single, it's not necessary.
Well, there's clearly deep insecurity happening here.
Yeah.
She blocked Mo's phone number on Colin's phone that she had access to.
Mm-hmm.
She changed Mo's name in his phone's address book and deleted all the texts that he had exchanged with her.
Oh,
so that
that's
he couldn't, like,
sneaky.
Yeah. So he couldn't go back and try to get in touch with her or whatever.
Yeah.
But Colin continued sort of a clandestine friendship with Mo, even as his relationship with Kaitlin was back on and getting more serious. He and Kaitlin moved in together. They bought an investment property together in Austin, or outside of Austin, like a suburb of Austin. And they formed a business restoring campers. And, like, I'm not trying to be a hater here. I've also done a camper restoration, but, like, Kaitlin is like every yoga girl, like, white girl who wants to, like, be a camper living influencer. I would not be surprised if she at some point was like a white girl with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Like every crunchy granola influencer that just, like, makes me gag.
Yeah.
Because it's like, none of the, you're not real, man. Like, this is so curated and fake and such bullshit.
She's a vegan, but when she gets drunk, she gets McNuggets.
Yeah. That's just, like, the vibe that I get from this woman. And, like, she sucks. So I don't feel bad saying it.
Yeah.
So Kaitlin was definitely in, like, a position of control in her relationship with Colin. She managed his racing finances. She had access to his phone and his computer passwords. He also bought Kaitlin, for some fucking reason, I don't know, a semi-automatic pistol in 2022 so that she could, quote, protect herself. I don't know a lot of the details around that. Maybe something was going on, but, like, because it's the same time frame where Mo's murder happened, I am speculating wildly, but I feel like there's a possibility that Kaitlin manufactured some danger or fear that she felt that she was in, so that Colin would get her this gun. Colin was not implicated in anything that happened, so he didn't know what, like, the lengths to which Kaitlin was willing to go. And he cooperated fully with the police and at every step of the investigation. So, like, even though he bought her a gun, I don't feel like that alone makes him complicit. I think that there was some manipulation that was happening.
Yeah.
That might have, encouraged him to do that, thinking he was doing something good for his girlfriend.
That said, it always gives me pause when somebody gifts a gun.
Yeah.
Because,
get your own fucking gun.
Well, also,
so that you're the one with the record of having bought the fucking gun. Not me.
And if you're gonna own a gun, you have got to be trained how to use it, and you have got to, like, practice with it. So if a gun is a gift, that's not you committing to gun ownership, which is more than just owning a fucking gun.
1,000%.
And a paper trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all, it seems like that always ends badly.
So Colin told investigators that he and Mo had stopped being intimate. Like, they were not hooking up once he got back together with Kaitlin. So Colin is like, no, Mo and I had not been hooking up. We stopped hooking up when Kaitlin and I got back together. But a friend did say that they thought Mo and Colin were still seeing each other. And Mo also appeared confused about what type of relationship Colin wanted, because in a text message before they saw each other the day she died, Mo texted Colin that she wanted to talk about where they stood because, quote, my mind has been going in circles and I don't know what to think. So it's possible that, like, he had been like, yeah, I'm back together with Kaitlin, but, like, I still really like you. And
he was just being vague and flirty and non-committal, and that's just what boys do.
It happens. And she wanted to know, like, no, what the fuck? I have feelings for you. What's going on? And we know that Kaitlin had access to fucking all, like, his phone, his computer. I'm certain she saw these messages.
Yeah.
So there you go. The tension between Kaitlin and Mo was palpable. At least, like, Mo just kind of stayed out of Caitlin's way, like, wanted nothing to do with her. But Kaitlin was, like, literally calling her to be like, stay the fuck away from Colin. Like, it was threatening. It wasn't just jealousy. It was becoming a destructive kind of obsession on Caitlin's part, who saw Mo as a threat to her relationship with Colin.
Got it.
As more information came to light, Armstrong, Caitlin's possible involvement in Mo's murder became a real focus for law enforcement. According to a report from CBS News, Armstrong had a history of avoiding confrontation. So Kaitlin, she didn't want to, like, you know, roll up, but she would make some threatening phone calls. But she had reportedly been seen driving a vehicle near the area where Mo was found dead on the night of the murder. There was, like, CCTV footage that was like, that's her van. Ew. She's here. The evidence was stacking up, and Kaitlin Armstrong was now the prime suspect. So after Mo's death, authorities are searching for Kaitlin Armstrong, but she had disappeared. The search for her turned into a nationwide manhunt. The 34-year-old yoga instructor was last seen boarding a plane at Austin Bergstrom International Airport on her way to New York City just days after the murder. She had used a false identity, and this attempt to flee made her appear even more suspicious. For weeks, the authorities tracked Caitlin's movements, eventually finding her in Costa Rica.
Oh my God.
After a thorough investigation, she had snuck there using her sister Christy Armstrong's passport and started living in a hostel and doing gig work to feed herself. So, like, this was my loose connection to Expat. She fled to, quote, live and work in a country other than her own. It does technically fit the topic.
It does. You did a great job.
Thank you so much. So again from CBS News, quote, in June 2022, 1 month after Kaitlin Armstrong disappeared, Deputy U.S. Marshals Damian Fernandez and Amir Perez traveled to Costa Rica. A source told them that Armstrong could be hiding out in Santa Teresa. They knew finding Armstrong in the small tourist-filled village was going to be a challenge. And along the way, Armstrong used multiple identities and changed her appearance, even getting plastic surgery.
Whoa.
So there's a photo that was in this CBS article that I put on the drive that's like a side-by-side of her before and after surgery. And she does look different.
The one on the left is before?
Yes.
Well, yeah, because the one on the right is when she's in prison, probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She looks, her nose is completely different.
Completely different. And her lips, like, it looks like she got filler.
Her hairline looks a little different, even.
Yeah, I mean, she certainly colored it. It's like reddish brown, and she's usually kind of blonde.
Yeah.
But she does look different than, like, the photos they had of her. So, I mean, points for that, I guess. They hit dead end after dead end. Like, they cannot find this woman. It's also like, they're searching for some, like, crunchy granola yogi in this super touristy town in Costa Rica. Like, I was reading through this interview on that A&E blog with some of the investigators that were like, yeah, we kept thinking we saw her and then it wasn't her. Like, she was everywhere.
It's like tracking down a bachelorette party in Tulum.
Yeah, pretty much. They hit dead end after dead end. After many intense days of searching for her with no luck, the U.S. Marshals decided to try one last tactic, hoping that her love of yoga would pay off for them. Quote, we decided we were going to put an ad out or multiple ads for a yoga instructor and see what would happen, Perez told 48 Hours. But they were getting disheartened because after about a week of, like, they put these out on Facebook and were, like, targeting them locally to this area. And they were getting some hits, but it wasn't her. So they were like, shit, she's not taking the bait. Like, I don't know if this is going to work. And they were getting ready to go somewhere else and look for her elsewhere. And right before they left, Kaitlin, who had been using other names, including Beth and Ari, did finally bite on the local Facebook post seeking a yoga instructor that U.S. Marshals had planted. She agreed to meet for an interview at a local hostel and was arrested and extradited back to the U.S. She just couldn't resist her call to teach yoga, and it ended up being her downfall.
Hey, passion is passion.
I know. They did her in.
Well,
She
she
did
can
not
teach
go-
it to her cellmate.
Yes, you can run the prison yoga program, girly, because that's where you're staying for quite a while. She did not go without a fight, though. On October 11th, 2023, about a month before her trial, Kaitlin attempted to escape corrections officers when she was transported to a medical facility for a doctor's appointment.
Honey.
She was quickly apprehended and hit with an additional felony charge of escape with causing bodily injury. I don't know the full details about that. Maybe she elbowed a corrections officer or something. She did something to wiggle away. That's maybe where the bodily injury.
Well, she's not a runner. She's a yoga instructor.
I guess. She just chaturanged her way out of there and they got her. Kaitlin Armstrong's trial took place in 2023 and the details of her actions were shocking. During the trial, it was revealed that Armstrong had planned the murder with chilling precision. She had stalked Mo online using a fitness app called Strava. So, she could see her every movement.
Ew.
Again, from A&E, quote, she had downloaded and saved photos of Mariah on her phone. An investigator said, based on the GPS data from Strava, she was able to see exactly where Mariah was staying by viewing her bike rides. She was stalking Mariah in the hours before the murder.
That is so chilling.
It's so chilling. And it's not uncommon for fitness enthusiasts to have these apps and then they post their routes and their miles and, you share your successes and your goals with other people and it can be used for such a vile fucking thing.
I heard, I think it was on This American Life, because that's where I get all of my stories. Mm-hmm. There was a guy who he was training for a marathon or something. He's a big time runner. And his I think it was Chipotle. His local Chipotle was if you run the most miles, if you sign up for this challenge and you run the most miles in this specific window of time, you get a year's worth of Chipotle for free.
Damn.
So he was yeah, I'll do that.
In. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
So they joined this group and all of you could track everyone else's progress. And it was just it was him and one other user that they were neck and neck up until the last minutes of the challenge.
Oh God.
They were competing against each other to the point where they knew where each other ran. So they were running around the same block, just back and forth over and over and over at the same time. And so they were just trying to go faster than the other one.
Woo. For a year at Chipotle, honey, I don't know if that's worth it.
I know. Well, the guy's I don't know what took over me. Because, Chipotle's fine.
That competitive edge can hook you even on the dumbest shit.
And they're face to face, and then at the end, I think the guy was yeah, good job, man. I'm just left.
Yeah, you can have this. I'm done.
They went till the last minute, the stroke of midnight. The guy telling the story.
Oh, right. Well, duh, that makes sense.
But yeah, it was more of a psychological, I don't know why.
I just had to win.
It was hundreds of miles.
Even though your prize is a little rough. The quality of Chipotle has gone down, okay? I was always
really
a Chipotle
has.
enthusiast, and now if you offered me a year of Chipotle, I'd be nah, I'm good.
Yeah, is this transferable?
Yeah.
Don't ever think about DoorDashing it.
No.
That's so much worse.
It's so much worse. Quality of noodles has gone down, too. I used to be a big Noodles & Co. girly.
Same.
Not nearly as
good.
I know. We used to make things in this country. Anyway,
now we can't get avocados pretty soon.
Straight up.
Trump's going to quit importing avocados from Mexico. Where the fuck do you think we get avocados from?
I mean, listen, that's the least of our worries, but it's not a small thing.
It's not nothing.
No. So as I mentioned earlier, her van was also seen on CCTV footage outside of the apartment, right in the time frame of the murder. So they're bitch, you did it. We know you did it. They got all the evidence, the gun, the ballistics, everything. You fled. You're done. You're cooked. You
got a full facelift.
You got a full ass fucking nose job.
You got a BBL.
Yeah. And I guess she was one of the times the investigators or witnesses saw her, she had a bandage on her nose and she was telling people that she got hurt in a surfing accident, that her surfboard had popped up and hit her in the nose.
Okay.
So people in the community were oh yeah, bandage girl.
Okay, Jax Taylor.
She's going by Beth. She's going by Ari. Yeah. Jax Taylor, exactly. In November of 2023, Armstrong was convicted of second-degree murder for the killing of Anna Maria Wilson. She was sentenced to 90 years in prison, a sentence that many felt was appropriate given the senselessness of her actions. In the courtroom, Mo's family spoke emotionally about the impact her death had on their lives, as well as the cycling community at large, which had lost a beloved athlete and friend.
And someone who apparently had a shit ton of potential to be like...
Yep. So young, 25.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, come on.
Awful.
In a statement after the verdict, Mo's family said, quote, "We hope this sentence brings some semblance of justice to the life Mo could have had and to the countless lives she touched through her kindness, athleticism, and passion."
Oh.
So that's my story. And yeah, there's pictures of also like Colin mid. Like why are we killing over this fucking guy? This fucking guy. I don't know.
He probably can do magic tricks.
Maybe. I don't know. No man is worth this. What are you doing? But yeah, Mo was such a little cutie pie.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Sweet gal. And I hope her family and friends are doing well. I mean, this wasn't that long ago. This was just a couple of years ago that this happened.
Yeah.
And Kaitlin, was it worth it, girl? For your year of Chipotle? Was it worth it? Probably not. Probably not. Enjoy teaching yoga in prison.
Yeah. Good job saving your relationship.
Yeah, you really did it. This really worked. You really locked him in.
Oh, boy.
Like, that's the shit that I'll never understand. Like, the thought process. Like, on what planet do you think this is going to work?
Yeah. She's out of the way. Come on,
and
honey.
Also,
let's go visit our investment property.
Obviously, it's never worth it to take somebody's life for a man. But, like, period, full stop, don't fight for a man's attention.
No.
Like, don't fight for someone that you can't be confident is choosing you. Mm-hmm. Fuck that. Mm-hmm. Fuck that. If you, like, this is, no.
If you have to convince someone.
Yes. Kaitlin is a beautiful young woman. Certainly had, I'm sure, lots of potential had she not lost her fucking marbles and completely gone off the rails and killed someone. Mm-hmm. Like, her life could have been absolutely lovely with somebody else that she didn't have to freak out about all the time.
Yep.
Like, this shit's not fucking worth it. There's no.
Yep.
Anyway, that's my PSA. No man is ever worth fucking killing over, but like rarely worth fighting this hard to keep a man's attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's move on. Bye.
I think
he doesn't deserve it.
The main lesson of this episode, don't be a douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a douchebag.
Never meet a man.
Yeah. It's a shame that so many people have to move abroad if they don't want to. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like Amanda said earlier, let's work on making the places that we live a little bit easier.
We can do that.
We can do that.
I'll grow my own avocados. No, I won't.
It takes a long time to grow an avocado.
Yeah, and where the fuck am I going to do that in Minnesota?
You can do it in a ball jar.
Sure.
Whatever. Thank you so much for listening. And be safe out there because people are fucking nuts.
Yep.
Well, see you next week.
Bye-bye. Oh, wait. Also, I have this. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Wine and Crime. Our cover art is by Danielle Sylvan. Music by Phil Young and Corey Wendell. Editing by Jonathan Camp. Our production manager is Andrea Gardner. For photos, sources, and other resources, head to wineandcrimepodcast.com. You can follow us on all the socials at Wine and Crime Pod. If you'd like to show your support and get access to all sorts of wine-fueled bonus content, check out our premium channel at wineandcrimepodcast.com/uncorked. Cheers!